Hi everybody. This is a wee experimental video I'm doing today. Um, this is a reading that I sometimes do for myself um, for self-awareness, and I was thinking incorporating it into my channel. Um, Obviously I need feedback in this to see if this is something you would be interested in seeing, um, and if it is I would do it for each zodiac sign. Because it's not, for anybody specific. I've just set all the cards out so that you could, we can get through the video a wee bit faster. Um, so what I do with this spread is I use the majors. Um, I take them out of the tarot deck and I use the majors as the energy that's coming in from the universe. So that would be um, what was coming in for you specifically, and then I do these wee cards basically just to see how we can incorporate what's coming into us, um, or why things slip by us that it doesn't work for us or whatever. So I'll just get straight into the reading, and then you could let me know in the comment box below if this is the kind of thing that you would like to see in my channel. um, I'm trying to figure out something that would, it's not just about tarot readings, it's about advice from the universe and self-awareness and getting back to source. So I just wondered if you could give me feedback and tell me what you think of this reading. As I say, this is just general. I've already pulled all the cards just so that you can see how it works and you can let me know what you think of it. So the major that I pulled that would be the energy coming in was the Star card. So basically the Star card is about happier times ahead, making positive and optimistic long-term plans and being on the right path to move forward with your life. So that's the initial energy. So what I do when I'm doing this reading for myself is I then pull an oracle card. So the oracle card that I pulled for this spread is difficulty in the beginning. Okay, so then what I would do is I would think about the energy card, making positive, optimistic, long-term plans. Okay, so I would think, what's blocking me doing that? What's making me not move forward to make my long-term plans? And this is where the oracle card comes in. So difficulty in the beginnings. Um, that would make me feel like, um, do I have doubts and fears to make the plans? Um, do I feel vulnerable? Do I feel inexperienced to move forward with the star energy to making my long-term plans? What's stopping me getting on the right path? Is it growing pains? Do I have doubts and fears about whether I can take this forward? How would I manifest my plans? Do I feel awkward? What would make me become stronger? Um, and I think when you start asking yourself all of these questions, you start to get clarity, um, especially when you get to the end of it and you're like, so um, if I put a plan in place, um, what would make me become stronger? What would make that plan move forward for me? How would that work? How would I manifest what it is I'm trying to do? So then I pull a self-awareness card, and the one that's came out here is patience. So I look at this card and I feel you need to have patience with yourself. You need to go within, look within. Um, are you looking for good, or are you willing to wait for great? Um, do you have the patience to let things pass you by so that the best thing can come to you? And again, we're going back to the oracle card about your doubts and fears. Excuse me. and how you become stronger. Well, I feel if you have the patience to wait, if you have the patience to allow the minor things to pass you and you don't jump for the first thing that comes along, then better things come. And that does make you stronger. Each thing that passes you by that you're like, I quite like it, but it's not got the wow factor. Um, it's not lighting my fire. Then you let that go, and that's where patience comes in. It's the advice is to let these things go until you're willed or until your fire's lit. And again, we go back to the oracle card that's saying that's you getting over growing pains. That's you getting over your doubts and fears when you have the strength to let something go that looks good, but it's not really what you're looking for. Um, that's where you move from inexperienced to experienced. You're teaching yourself to be aware of your vulnerabilities. You're teaching yourself to see that sometimes you might jump and go, oh yeah, that looks good, I'll take that. But it's not really what you want. It's kind of like going to the shop for a pair of red stilettos and you find a pair of red kitten heeled shoes. One's 3 inches and one's 6 inches, and you're like, well, that's the only red shoe that I've found that I kind of like. It's not what I was looking for, but I kind of like it, and you just take that shoe. 2 weeks later, you see the 6 inch stiletto that you wanted. So I know that's quite an obscure simile, but do you see what I mean? So if you had the patience to just wait the 2 weeks and keep looking, you would have found that shoe, and you wouldn't have bought the shoe that came up just because it's kind of okay. So the patience card comes out to teach us to have the patience to let the good slip and wait for the great. Um, I would also look at my relationships, not just my romantic partners or wives, husbands, whatever. I would look at relationships on the whole, and I would see how they were affecting me making my long-term plans and being on the right path to move forward. So what came out here was separation. So what I feel about the card of separation is it's telling me that sometimes it doesn't actually have to be a physical separation, it can be an emotional separation. Sometimes we're in relationships or partnerships, friendships, where we're not on the same page, and sometimes other people influence our decisions. So when separation comes out, it doesn't mean to move away from the person. It just means, get your thoughts to where you're speaking your truth. Get to where you're looking at from your point of view. If that is your belief, then you don't let anyone else sway your decision. Again, it's going back to here. It's going back to about becoming stronger. It's going back to being vulnerable or feeling vulnerable, and other people being able to persuade you on different matters of life. So again, it's about having patience with yourself, believing in yourself, and not feeling awkward or inexperienced. It's about having the strength to say, that's my belief. So separating yourself from other people's beliefs or separating yourself can be like becoming the shepherd instead of a sheep. It's all about looking inside and um, believing in your own truth. And that brings about strength, that brings about diminishing your fears, getting rid of the awkwardness and vulnerability, and becoming a stronger person. And that can help you make positive and optimistic decisions for yourself, and you're not following what someone else believes, because it's all about your inner patience and your inner truth. Then I look at the spiritual side for the end of the reading. I take spiritual advice, and here we've got Archangel Haniel. So Archangel Haniel is the sacred warrior, and the Hope card came out. So what this card says is, when we feel deeply and are affected by natural shocks of the flesh. So when things come in, that everyday experiences, when things come in and they knock you, and it can be just soaking in negative people's energy. It can be being in a vicinity where maybe this person here, their beliefs are so on a different page to you that the negativity, you don't feel what they're saying is the truth to you, but you suck it in, and this brings your energy down because you're sucking in other people's negativity. Archangel Haniel says, we maybe despair until the dove of peace enters our lives and once more lifts us up to hope. If this is a moment of such challenge to you, reach out and the angels will carry you to this virtue by allowing you to observe a beautiful scene in nature. So this is all about being in the moment, going out and, going back to the simplicity of life, seeing the birds fly, seeing the ducks swim on a pond. It could be seeing children playing, it could be hearing children laughing, something that brings you back to happiness, that lifts your energies back up. It also says, angels will carry you to this virtue by allowing you to observe a beautiful scene in nature, another soul filled with joy or success, or a child whose innocence lifts your spirits. So that's what I was saying to you, watching children playing in a park and laughing and joking, rises you back up, that lifts you. You automatically start smiling because you can feel the children's happiness playing, or you can see the nature, you can almost feel the nature when you're sitting in that moment just watching birds on a pond, or within this form you will see a manifestation of the oracle like a dove, allowing your spirit to fly in peace. So what that's saying to me is, when you pray to the angels, they come and help you, they give you hope, they show you a sign. If you're in that moment and you are looking to receive signs, signs will appear to you. This can come in the way of feathers, or finding a penny. It can be a song you hear on the radio that just brings you back to better times. It takes you to a place where you were happier. It's all about raising your vibrations and having hope for the future. Hope is the medicine of life. Hope is like the medicine of source. When there's hope, you can move forward. And again, that brings you back to your oracle, and it says, use your hope, use your signs, pray to the angels, look for the signs, be open to receive help from the angels, and that's where you'll maybe get the guidance for patience. And the separation, as I said, doesn't need to be a physical separation. Sometimes it just means, take a step back, look at what other people are saying, doing, preaching, look at that and see deep within you, do you feel that's right? Do you feel they're doing the right thing or saying the right thing? Sometimes we just get caught up in what other people feel and think, and that's where we end up. Where if I'm struggling on my life plan, sometimes I have to take a wee separation and I step back and think, I get caught up in that and I don't really like where that's going. That's not my truth. It doesn't mean you need to separate away from the person. It doesn't mean, it just means that you have to say to them, look, can you not put your views on me because they aren't my views, and I think when you can look inside yourself and just ask yourself the questions. Sometimes I find this reading is really good because it brings up questions that I would normally not ask myself. And then, as I say, you have the angel message at the end that just tells you, like, if you pray to this angel, this is what's going to happen and this is how you can sort the situation. And I feel like after I've done this reading for myself, I feel as if I have inspiration. I feel as if some of the questions that come up that need answered, I just have the answers for. I really, really like this spread. I call it self-awareness coaching. Um, and as I say, I do this quite a lot. If I find myself in a situation that I don't really know the answers to, or I don't know, I'm blocked and I don't know how to get by the blockage and I don't know what's causing the blockage. Sometimes this just opens my eyes to situations that I wouldn't have thought about looking at. Um, and I really like it. If if you think you would like me to do these wee readings for the zodiac signs, um, or coachings, as I call them self-awareness coachings. So if you would like me to incorporate this into my channel, it would be really good if you could put a wee comment below to give me encouragement to do that, because I don't know if it's something that you would be interested in or not. And as I say, it takes quite a long time to do the videos, but if this would help someone, along their path a wee bit, I'm really interested in doing that. Just opening the mind, and if you're wanting to go down a more spiritual path, just letting spirit in, letting the angels in, and just allowing the questions to be answered within you. I think we all live with a lot of questions that we just don't know how to get the answers to, and sometimes a wee nudge in the right direction just makes our mind have clarity, that it opens up a whole new way of thinking for us. So as I say, I won't go on much longer. This is just a wee experiment to show you how the reading worked, and if you would be interested in that. Obviously, because this is a general and it's not geared to anybody in particular, the other readings would be more informative, because I would be doing it, I would be praying over the cards before I done that for each sign. But anyway, so I won't babble on any longer. You can let me know below if you would be interested in this, and if I get enough people interested, then I'll incorporate this into my channel. Even if we've done it for a couple of months and seen how, if it helped any of you and if you liked it. If not, I can just stop doing it again. It's not a big issue. But as I say, I sometimes do this spread for myself, and I feel that sometimes it just helps me get clarity, and it allows me to answer questions that I never even knew were there, the blockages and stuff. But thanks for watching my wee video, and I would really, really appreciate it if you could let me know below if this is something you would be interested in as a self-awareness coaching. Sending you blessings, love and light. Speak to you again. Bye.